इमरजेंसी का वह समय हमारे देश के इतिहास में अन्याय काल का एक काला खंड था.
And now let me play out the bite of Shashi Tharoor and Giriraj Singh.
राष्ट्रपति जी सरकारी भाषण दे दिए तो नॉर्मल है, सरकार के ही सारे मुद्दे वो लोग आगे बढ़ाने का कोशिश में होंगे. लेकिन इस समय 49 साल के बाद ये जो इमरजेंसी के बाद जिक्र किया, मेरे ख्याल में कोई लॉजिक नहीं था उस विषय पे. आज के मुद्दे के बारे में बोलना चाहिए था. हम नीट परीक्षा के बारे में कुछ नहीं सुना, हमारे युवाओं की बेरोजगारी के बारे में कुछ नहीं सुन पाए. तो बड़ी जरूरी विषय है. और आपको ये भी मालूम है कि मणिपुर इस शब्द तो ना प्रधानमंत्री के मुंह से निकला ना राष्ट्रपति जी से. ये बड़ी जरूरी है कि इस किस्म के विषय, चीन के सीमा से में क्या हो रहा है, बहुत बड़े विषय हमारे देश में है जो हम उठाना चाहते हैं हमारे देश में. और ये उठाने के लिए सरकार इस भाषण को इस्तेमाल कर सकते थे. हमारे जवाब में तो नेचुरली प्रतिपक्ष की भी ये जिम्मेदारी है कि ऐसे मुद्दे हम ऐसे भी बताएं जनता को जो संसद के अंदर चर्चा होनी चाहिए, जो अब तक नहीं हुई है.
संविधान को जब किसी ने चोट पहुंचाया है वो कांग्रेस पार्टी ने पहुंचाया. श्रीमती इंदिरा गांधी ने केवल अपने हित के लिए उन्होंने देश में इमरजेंसी लगाया, देश को एक तरह से जेल बना दिया, पत्रकार की कलम बंद हो गई, राजनेताएं जेल में बंद होने लगे, उनको बंद कर दिया गया, बंदी बना दिया गया, देश ठहर सा गया, लोकतंत्र शर्मसार हुआ. और ये नए पीढ़ी को जानने का पूरा अधिकार है. जब महामहिम राष्ट्रपति महोदया ने इसकी चर्चा की है तो आज होनी ही चाहिए. 50 वर्ष अब होने जा रहे हैं, फिर कोई दूसरा व्यक्ति ऐसा ना आए जो इस कलंक को फिर से भारत के माथे लगाए.
On Thursday, even the President Draupadi Murmu referred to the emergency and called it the darkest chapter of the Indian democracy. Indira Gandhi had declared emergency in 75, which lasted till 77. It led to the first national defeat of the Congress after independence.
भारत का संविधान बीते दशकों में हार कसौटी पर खरा उतरा है. जब संविधान बन रहा था तो भी दुनिया में ऐसे ताकतें थे जो भारत के असफल होने की कामना कर रही थी. देश में संविधान लागू होने के बाद भी संविधान पर अनेक बार हमले हुए हैं. आज 27 जून है. 25 जून 1975 को लागू हुआ आपातकाल संविधान पर सीधे हमले का सबसे बड़ा और काला अध्याय था. तो पूरे देश में हाहाकार मच गया था. लेकिन ऐसी असंवैधानिक ताकतों पर देश ने विजय प्राप्त करके दिखाया, क्योंकि भारत के मूल में गणतंत्र की परंपराएं रही है. मेरी सरकार भी भारत के संविधान को सिर्फ राजकाज का माध्यम भर नहीं मानती, बल्कि हमारा संविधान जन चेतना का हिस्सा हो, इसके लिए हम प्रयास कर रहे हैं.
And on this debate, I am joined by Dr. Shama Mohammed, National Spokesperson, Indian National Congress, Ajit Kechha, Senior Journalist and Input Editor of News9 Live, Brijesh Pandey. Let me straight away go to Dr. Shama Mohammed. Madam, why did Congress party took umbrage at the Speaker's speech? Rahul Gandhi, as leader of objection, personally objected to it, and then Mr. Venugopal shot off a letter. Why?
Well, it's very simple. You've got a third mandate, and you says you want to lead by consensus. When the Prime Minister, when they wanted the government wanted the Speaker, we were ready to support the Speaker on one condition, that of course you have to have a Deputy Speaker. From 2019 to 24, we did not have a Deputy Speaker, and Supreme Court in 2023 questioned the government of the day and said that it's unconstitutional. So on a day when we have had a new start, why do you bring up the emergency? What was the need to bring it up? And that too by the Speaker, who should not be partisan. So there are very important issues in this country. There are issues like NEET. There is Manipur, which is still burning. Nothing is being done about it. And of course, we can all speak about undeclared emergency in the last 10 years, how they have changed the Right to Information Act, how they have changed the selection of the Election Commission, how they got in the electoral bonds, which the Supreme Court said is unconstitutional, how they've arrested journalists under UAPA, how they put opposition members behind, opposition leaders behind bars, but not their own. So we know what has happened in the last 10 years, how every organization like ED, CBI, IT, everything has been weaponized against the opposition. So we definitely have an undeclared emergency in this country. You can see, which we have never seen, is bulldozing houses in Madhya Pradesh, in what you call Bombay. They keep doing this. UP. Where is the law of the land? You have to have a case, then an FIR is. There will be an FIR.
Shama, my question
so what is happening? We want to talk about the last 10 years. If they want to talk about emergency, we have to talk about the last 10 years.
My question is, and on this I'll join Mr. Jha. My question is, last 10 years, Congress was not able to take a lot of umbrage on the emergency. This is the first time formally the Congress has taken an umbrage on this issue. I remember there was a little murmur. Mr. Ajit Jha, if you're there, if you're listening to me,
can I respond to that? Can I respond to that? I'll tell you one more thing.
I'll just give you a minute, Shama.
I'll tell you one more thing.
I'll just give you a minute.
No, I just want to say one more thing. You said after the emergency was over, we called an election, Mrs. Indira Gandhi, because she believed in the democratic principles and she felt the emergency was not right and she said that. We have apologized in the parliament for 1984, all right? Ms. Manmohan Singh ji has, and Mrs. Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi has regrets of it. Even I, will apologize always for 1984, but tell me who has apologized for 2002? Did we ever hear an apology for 2002? Every time
Shama, I don't want to change the goalpost of the discussion today.
I'm not changing the goalpost.
It is not about the 1984 Sikh riots, one-way violence, or what happened in Gujarat. I'll be plain and simple. Today the discussion is about the constitutional narrative. Ajit, my question to you is, Congress for the first time has taken the umbrage at it. Is it because of the number they have, a sort of a triple-digit party? Or is it because of the fact that they believe that somehow the narrative of the Lok Sabha election has paid them rich dividends and they will continue to stick to it? Because ultimately, there has to be a politics of emergency. Emergency is over. There is no discussion on emergency. It is the darkest chapter of the Indian democracy. Habeas corpus was suspended. There is no discussion on that. Discussion is why Constitution has become so weaponized today. When the Prime Minister has to bow down to Constitution, and that particular day in his DP, you have Prime Minister bowing down to the Constitution like that. And Rahul Gandhi on every occasion is showing a red book. So the debate is not about emergency. The debate is actually hovering down to the Constitution. And that's what I've been discussing for last so many days. Today, it has come down to Constitution, Ajit.
Karthike, there are two aspects here. Debate on the Constitution is very healthy. That one should grant. But this parliament, the 18th Lok Sabha, was supposed to be a parliament of consensus, because neither does the BJP as a party have the numbers of 272, much below, it's 240. And neither is the opposition and the Congress party in a position of 272. But both seem to be behaving, the BJP seems to be behaving as if it is in continuity from 2019 with 303 seats and 353 of NDA. And the Congress, which has got 99 seats and, 334 India Alliance, they seem to be behaving as if they have the total numbers. So the point is, if you don't come towards a consensus, it's a coalition government. Right from the beginning, right? Look at the election of Mr. Om Birla for the second time. It was through a voice vote, which should not have been done. There should have been a consensus. In fact, Rajnath Singh ji, Defense Minister, he was supposed to talk to the leader of the Congress, the president of the Congress party. but somehow entire thing fell through. Both of them are consensus builders on both sides, the senior leaders, but somehow everything went awry. From both sides, there has been a muscular approach. And I think both should just sort of retrace their steps back, take a step back, and try to build a consensus, because good governance can only be built on that. So I agree that it would have been better if the Lok Sabha Speaker had not mentioned the emergency as the chair. He should not have read out the resolution, because that is kind of what one would call unprecedented. But then so is voice vote. After all, there was no point in K. Suresh filing his nomination before 12 p.m. just to show that we have the numbers. Everyone knows where the numbers are. Everyone knew that the Congress would lose, the India Alliance would lose out in this election. And now the problem is the whole issue of Deputy Speaker will also become political. So I think the approach from both sides is not to arrive at a consensus, but carry on the conflict which we saw during the campaign, which we saw before the campaign, and it goes on and on, which is not good for governance, according to me, and neither good for the parliamentary tradition.
Okay. Brijesh. Well, I think, what the BJP is trying to do is that they are trying to thwart off the accusations which are being made by opposition party that the last 10 years has been nothing but draconian, and an unsaid, undeclared emergency has been imposed on the country. And it was very clear, right at the day when the Prime Minister's customary address to the press and nation on the first day of the Parliament, the Prime Minister made a statement that today is 24th, tomorrow is 25th. 25th, you must know, is the darkest day in the darkest chapter in the Indian democracy. So the Prime Minister had set the ball rolling on 24th itself, and that is the reason why the BJP is going all guns blazing as far as the emergency is concerned, is because it is indefensible. Nobody can defend what happened 50 years ago. But the thing is that what is happening is that the BJP also under pressure to show to the people and the electorate at large and the cadre at large that they have not backed out despite not getting a full majority. And that is the reason why this though they may be saying for consensus, the approach is muscular from both sides, and that is the reason why this friction is there. The speaker should have completely avoided making a mention of it if he wants to be seen as a speaker who is not in favor of any particular party. He could have completely, this must have said by Kiran Rijiju, it was being completely all right.
Is this the reason why the protest took place, where the NDA members were
Absolutely. There? This is what happened on 25th. Once the Parliament got over, all of them came out, and the entire the NDA paraphernalia was out there, and they protested against it. Now see, nobody is defending constitution, the emergency or something like that. But I personally feel that that the BJP is indeed being rattled by the constant reference to constitution, because if you see, we all saw what happened, the spat between Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla and Deepender Hooda. The fact of the matter remains that that there was no need for the speaker also to call out Shashi Tharoor and say that that aapne kis pe shapath li, when you are not contesting people who have taken oath on Jai Palestini. This didn't held him in good light, I would say.
Shama,
because Deepender Hooda is not some spokesperson.
Shama, do you think that through the constitution narrative, the Congress has been able to rebuild itself in a national narrative which was really missing for a couple of years? There's a local stand-by on legal, political, social issues.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons we have won this election. So you have to understand what happened.
But Ajit is saying that Congress has not won the election, and BJP doesn't have the majority.
He can say whatever he wants. That's his point of view. We are in a democracy. He has the right to say what he wants. Doesn't mean I have to believe what he says and he's right. So it's his problem. He can say whatever he wants. I don't care. I do not care what that individual says. Let me speak.
But you haven't won the election.
Now, we have won multiple states. I'm talking about, yes, we did not win the election. I know that. What I'm trying to say is we have done a very good job in reducing them. He was talking about 400 par. Where is 400 par? Where is 300 par? So let's understand a very important thing. The Samvidhan was very important this time for the simple reason is he said 400. Many of his, especially Deputy CM of Rajasthan, many other leaders of the Arun Govil and many others, then Anand Reddy from Karnataka. Anand Hegde, sorry, not Reddy. Many of them said that 400 par we need because we want to change the constitution. And why would they want to change the constitution? To remove reservation. And we know what Mohan Bhagwat said in 2015 before the Bihar election. C.P. Thakur has said that. So multiple leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party have said that they want to remove reservation. And of course, the OBCs, SC, STs were very worried. And we all know it's true. And they are also not ready for a caste census. We are ready for a caste census. We said, why does not the government do it? So they're not ready. We know the reason is because they want to remove the reservation. So definitely the Constitution of India, carrying it. And I see one more thing. Whenever I go around, everybody says, we are reading the Constitution now because we have seen it with Mr. Rahul Gandhi. So definitely has made a difference in all this. And let's be very honest. The most important thing, Karthikeyan, is that this government, even though they do not have a majority, they do not want to show any sort of consensus. And it's very clear how they've started on the wrong foot. So we are very clear that we are not going to let you do what you did last election, last term, where Mr. Om Birla suspended 99 of our MPs first. Why?
Okay.
Because they questioned him on how the parliament breach happened. You remember? When they questioned the 99 were suspended. The rest were, then again we were questioned the rest. 146 were suspended.
Okay.
Have you heard that in the history of India? And then they pass all the bills they want. None of the bills go to standing committee. Is this a democracy?
Okay.
That is what we are questioning today.
Okay. Ajay, do you think it's also because of the fact that, ultimately if you look at the present coalition, I think it's the strongest coalition. It's the strongest coalition, which means that 240 plus, it's better than Manmohan Singh. It is better than Vajpayee. It is better than Gujral. So the behavior has not changed. And there is a spring in the feet of the Congress party. And they become very, very combative. So which means that in this 18th Lok Sabha, because of the numbers, the principles will become even more combative. Rather than accommodative, when people thought they may become accommodative, a sort of a good opposition and a coalition which is stable, it will make them even more aggressive in the House. That is why the behavior did not change. The Speaker came on the emergency issue. If I analyze it, it's not leading to a behavioral change from the government. नहीं तो लोग सोचेंगे कमजोर हो गए तो कमजोर नहीं होना वैसी बात करनी. Correct. Isn't that the reason? ये हो गया.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the numbers dictating on both sides. You are absolutely right. The BJP, although it's a coalition government, is on a strong wicket because both its partners, Nitish Kumar and Mr. Naidu, are busy in their states, right? They have taken junior positions. So they feel that they can go ahead and, rollerball the opposition. And the opposition, like what she pointed out, that when 146 MPs in the 17th Lok Sabha was suspended by the chair Om Birla last year, not last year, in fact this year. So at that time, if you saw, the opposition did not take such a combative approach as it is taking now. And it is purely dictated by the fact that, look, they seem to say, we have got the mandate. In terms of agenda, one would agree that bringing the constitution back into the debate, the opposition has scored a great goal.
लेकिन अजय, there is a saying, मैंने आपसे उस दिन बोला था, मैंने आपसे बोला था कि ये पहला चुनाव है जिसमें जो जीत गया वो हारा हुआ महसूस कर रहा है और जो कंप्लीट तो करने दो, और जो चुनाव हार गया उसको लग रहा है उसने अपने अपोनेंट की पकड़ के पिटाई कर दी, मतलब उसमें गेम ओवर हो गया है.
Absolutely. Both are, in fact, you are absolutely right. कि बीजेपी जो मतलब एक तरह से तो जीता है, बट बिकॉज मैंडेट घट गया है तो लग रहा है कि हारा हुआ है. एंड इफ यू लुक एट द कांग्रेस, इन द हिस्ट्री ऑफ कांग्रेस, दिस इज द सेकेंड लोएस्ट amount of seats in parliament. 99 looks great if you compare it to 55, but 99 in the history of Congress is the second lowest. So they should be preparing
third lowest, right? Okay. So they should be preparing for the future where they can come back to power, not with just an aggressive approach in parliament, but try and
Okay,
become
can I ask you a
construct-
political question? Do you think it's a dead deal emergency today? It's like a dead horse which BJP is trying to beat? Is it a dead horse?
Well, it has certainly been overflogged. I don't think it's a dead horse because it's a reminder, like our partition. In some ways, it's a reminder that
Okay.
our entire constitutional breakdown took place.
Okay.
So it's not a dead horse, but it is overflogged.
Overflogged.
It's not required at this moment, I
Okay.
would argue.
Do you think that it's overflogged?
Well, it is overflogged, and see, we have to also understand that when we say that that the party was won is not behaving like that they have won, and the party was lost behaves like that it has won. There's a reason behind it. The reason is that 2024 general elections was always considered a done deal. Everybody was very confident that BJP will win 300 plus seats, the NDA will come to 370 seats, Congress will be decimated to another double digit class, lower double digit, somewhere in the range of 55, 60, and everybody was very sure about it. When the result came, it shook everybody. For a sure 300 plus, if the BJP was reduced to 240, and Congress, which was supposed to be in a lower double digit, went down to reach triple digit with the induction of one more MP. So I think that is the reason why when you're expecting me to score 40 out of 100 and all of a sudden I score 75, then I have reasons to be happy. I have reason to be confident.
I think I let Dr. Shama Mohammed have the last word. Shama, is this the Congress we are going to see in this session?
Well, we'll definitely be aggressive. We'll be questioning. See, like Rahul ji said, I'm the voice of the people. Voice has been suppressed. You've seen Om Birla, shutting people. Just now did that when we said Jai Samvidhan, Shashi Tharoor. What was wrong in that? They have been saying Jai Hegwar. I have heard all sorts of things. So why not Jai Samvidhan? Why are you shutting people down? So it's again a speaker who is your slave, very clear about it. And we are not going to keep quiet. We're going to fight back this time. We're not going to let them pass bills that we want to. Bills have to go to standing committee. This is the way the parliament has been run under every government, including the Bharatiya Janata Party under Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So let's go back to that. Let's see that all policies regarding our people, our country are passed in a bipartisan manner. It cannot be run on the whims and fancies of a dictator. And we are clear about it.
So, which means that issues like NEET, issues like NET, they'll be all on the Manipur.
NEET, very important. Joblessness in this country.
Are you saying
price
Manipur?
Rise,
Are you going to press a debate for Manipur?
Manipur is important. Manipur is very important. The Prime Minister of this country, more than 200 people have died. There is still issues running in Manipur. Meiteis don't go to Kuki area. Kuki doesn't go to the Meitei area. It's like India and Pakistan there. And the Prime Minister of India has not even visited that place. I mean, how can that be? He doesn't have any sort of emotion. Farmers, when more than 700 had died during the farmer protests, nothing. He didn't go. They were called Khalistanis, all sorts of names. So Manipur is a very important issue. We need peace in Manipur. It's part of our country. Why is the Prime Minister of India and the Bharatiya Janata Party saying that they're elsewhere, Manipur? So Manipur people also want peace. And it's a very, very pertinent issue. NEET, Manipur, unemployment, all these things. And the price rise and the corruptions. We want to see an India where the youth look forward, where they have jobs. That the IITs, the big institutions, have very less campus interview jobs. Do you know about that? Karthikeyan. So these things, why is it happening? Why are the investors getting out of this country? Because they know that even now, after the new government is formed, 3 people have been lynched in Chhattisgarh.
Today, I think Jairam Ramesh complained. I think he tweeted. He gave a number of times. I think the opposition was shown, and the number of time the government was shown, number of time Rahul Gandhi was shown, and number of time the Prime Minister was shown. He raised this issue. Do you think that?
But that's what the Sansad TV is doing these days. Sansad TV has become the BJP TV. That's the problem. So when you look at even speakers and deputy speakers under us, as well as the former BJP government, everybody is from the opposition. And here there is no deputy speaker. So first 5 years they wanted a deputy speaker. Suddenly they say we don't want a deputy speaker. I mean, it's run on their whims and fancies. This has to stop.
Thank you so much, Shama. Thank you so much for joining us on this conversation. Thank you, Ajit. Thank you, Brijesh. But Shama made some very pertinent points that the Congress will take up the issue of NEET,
net and Manipur. And I think these are the issues which will make a difference, because these are the issues related to people. So this was on point number 1. And the most important thing is that the Congress in this third avatar has shown its teeth, that it has the strength to take them on, which is the dominant Bharatiya Janata Party in our political system. And I think that's the most important thing that has changed.
Well, I think yes, and then the fact is that from being dormant to being dominant, now they are, what is happening is that the Congress is taking is adopting a very aggressive approach, and they have nothing to lose. And I think government has to be or can be slightly more accommodative and ensure that that there are certain gives or takes which blunts the aggressiveness which is being shown by the government.
Absolutely.
I think the aggressive approach of the government is not going to help them a lot. And remember, Karthik,
no, I completely agree with you.
There are 2 elections there. If BJP is not able to retain those 2 assembly elections, they will be losing for the first time the political capital.
I completely agree with you. This is the first time Bharatiya Janata Party, after winning this election, is on defensive.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
20,000 people dead and counting. What's happening in the United States of America is unprecedented. You will have to pay for this.
The confidence is certainly back in the market.